So we're going to talk about, because I think this is something that maybe a couple of us are going through, is mothering adult children in a healthy way. Woo. So
I can relax.
bring the tissue. Let me get some tissue. Bring the tissue. Bloopers.
I can hold it for y'all. This is not my lane. Even though I got a, what is he? A shorty grony or something.
Shorty grown man.
Shorty grown man. No gronies over here.
So the question again is mothering adult children in a healthy way. And I don't know if I'm
we all have children who are in college.
Right.
Well, three of us do.
Right.
Yeah. It's been a transition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The letting go and allowing the relationship to adjust. I think what I've found is my kids wanted to adjust, and sometimes they need mom. But James put it this way. I think he put it so beautifully. He told Brianna and Trey, he was like, we will always be your parents, but now my responsibility is act as your guide.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not there to tell you, oh, you shouldn't do that, right or wrong. We've taught you right and wrong. Now it's your responsibility to try to carry it out. Now, if you come to us now, I'm acting you as a guide. So it's going to be a question with a question or whatever until we sit down. And because my guidance at this point is to help you figure out this next phase of your life, I think. But what I've recognized even with that is that sometimes they need mommy and sometimes they need mom. You know.
That's good. And I know what you're saying. I know. I can feel the distinguishing between mom and mommy for sure.
You know, because think about it, like,
because I want to be mom.
Christian was just in a hurricane thing. Was it mom or mommy who was responding?
It was both, actually. It was both. Mommy was, okay, you okay? You know, the Hurricane Ian just passed through, and so I'm like, do you have all of your stuff or whatever? Mom had to not call 20 times.
Yeah.
Mom had to say, okay, we've prayed, he's prepared, he's good. And mom had to communicate, okay, I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
So mommy isn't getting on his nerves. But the motherhood, for me, with the adult child, Christian's 20, he'll be 21 in January.
Grown.
And David is 18.
Because I know it's about to come.
And David is 18. He's graduating this year. And what I'm finding is that motherhood with an adult child is a partnership.
Yeah.
And literally, I just had to communicate to Christian, he's in his junior year, that I'm going mommy. Like I've been doing it for 20 years now, so I know how to do that. I need you to communicate to me what you need from me.
Yeah.
And I can be whatever you need me to be.
Yeah.
But I want to give you the space to let me know what it is you need me to be.
Yeah.
So that way I'm not, anxious or, be overspending myself into his life. Create the boundaries for me. So it's been working.
Yeah.
Good. I don't want Trey
I want Trey to create. See, we still working on it.
So you mommy.
We still working.
It's mommy. Mommy.
Because for me, I had to, when Cecilia left and went to college, I had to, because I know
across the United States.
Across the United States.
Yeah, your baby's in California.
And, you're right. And I had to, because I didn't know how to cope with it, I had to rip the Band-Aid off and say, oh, he gone. And because I have three others at home. Does that mean that was the right way? No, but that was the way I could cope in that moment that he was gone. And because before I got married, it was me and him. Yeah. Like, we were growing together. Like, it wasn't a divorce, but it was like, it's
a loss.
It did.
Right on back.
It felt like a loss. Right.
But
I'm holding
water.
This
left one, right one, it was just the water. I'm like, it's going to drop. You did
didn't want to take. I didn't want to feel that emotion. But that held me from encouraging him when he probably needed to be encouraged, pushing him when he needed to be pushed, like to be, and I don't know which one would be the mother or the mommy, but it was like, no, you need to stay on it. No, you need to, but I just pulled back and said, nope, go do what you gotta do. I felt like, in the time, I was like, I prepared you, but I didn't fully prepare him for what was next. Meaning, it was other things. I felt like I was holding him tight because I didn't want nothing to happen. And I wanted, and this is stuff that's why I say you gotta watch what people say over you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're gonna make a mistake. So I didn't want him to make mistakes.
Yeah.
So all this was all wrapped in, I'm trying to let him be an adult, but is he ready to be an adult? I'm trying to but I started preparing the summer before, but still not being fully ready. So then I remember my husband saying, telling Sincere that in this season we're gonna be mentors to you. So you could come to us and ask stuff, but I had to set up that availability for him to come and be mentored. Yeah. Like if I was blocking him every time he came, if I was saying things to keep him away and stuff like that, I can't be the mentor. He's not going to call me and say, Mom, let me tell you what's going on. I really need help in this season. Right. Because I had already blocked that off.
That's true. And I don't know something happened like right after they left for school last year. Trey is a junior. Well, he's a second semester sophomore at UMD. And Brianna's a junior at George Mason. And I don't know what had happened. Maybe it was like a lot of deaths that happened or things going on at school. But I remember us having to have a conversation and kind of retracting back. Like, I'm letting you go learn, right? Because for the majority of us, that's kind of how we took on life. You got in college and we had to learn. And the pandemic
just hit.
Yeah.
This was true. At the end. So they've been in the house all this time. They've been going through being away from the social life and experiencing things that society have already put in place. It was no prom and no stuff that we had to set up. No graduations. No, or the graduation was adjusted to fit, what they can do in that space. Yeah,
and I don't think we were taking that into consideration. We was like, oh, y'all going to school, y'all gonna stay there and things like that. And I'm not sure what happened. But I remember like God checking me and was like, that's not their plight, right? You guys have made a life that's better and it comes with certain amenities and stuff like that. So I remember us getting on a family call and I was like, if y'all need a break and you need to come home, these doors are open every single day. And I kid you not, they must have been waiting to hear that. Yeah. Because Trey was like, I'm getting on the train. Yeah. I'll be home tomorrow. Yeah. And Brianna was like, I'm coming too. And they just was like, it's something about having a safe space to come home to. And I think that's a huge part of adulting.
Like, that's making sure that they know that there's a safe space. Yeah. And allowing space, and this is hard to say, but allowing space for mistakes. Letting them, they have to go out there and go make the mistake, but knowing, and let them know that even when you make that mistake, we right here.
Right here.
Come lay right here. You can lay here. We can be here. Whatever you need to do, we're going to, and I'm here for you no matter what. Yeah. So, I mean, and this is, I guess, the space that we're in right now. So I'm like, just like the question, how can we help somebody? Like, what's some advice that we can give somebody that is adulting? I mean, is parenting adult children from, like, sometimes they're not in college, but they're right outside of college. Like, they graduated from college
and they want
to figure out what's next. Because I've been noticing that I remember being stuck in that space right after college or right after the age of college, like. What am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to, like...
I get and how to panic. Yeah. Don't pour your fears into your child. Yeah. Your adult child.
That's good. Even. That's good.
Don't panic. Because we all, like you said, had to go through a process. Right. And we may not have shown that we were freaking out.
Right.
But we were freaking out. Right. So don't panic. Allow them the space to be able to maneuver, indecision or mistakes or even changing their mind. That's one of the things that I, talk to Christian and David about a lot is don't feel like you have to live my life.
Absolutely.
That's
And
true.
your father's life.
That's true.
Don't feel like you got to get married at 23 and have kids.
That's right.
If you want to go buy a condo and travel the rest
Yeah.
of your life and rent that condo
Please.
out,
Please.
do that. Create your own
Right.
trajectory of what
Right.
you want your life to be.
Yeah.
And so don't panic and don't put too much pressure on them.
That's what I hear. Pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
they have their own.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they also have the pressure that you naturally put on them
Yeah.
as you raise them.
Yeah.
Mom and dad standard.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
mom's standard. Or
Yeah.
dad's standard.
Right.
And so that's there already.
Yeah.
And then if you raise them up in the faith, that's another standard.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So their backs are like,
Yeah.
I'm weary.
Well,
I'm weary at 21.
And to be honest, Trey
Right.
and Brianna have had that conversation, like, because they grew up in this family group, and they were like,
Yeah.
that's
Expectations
pressure.
are high.
They was
Yeah.
like, y'all are all doing well, y'all married. He was like, that's a lot of pressure. But I think if I gave one piece of advice is to try to see your adult child for where they are and not where you were at their age.
Yes.
Right.
And that could be hard.
Yeah, because today offers we didn't have all of these, like you said,
Yep.
access, opportunities. You don't have to be stuck in one career field.
Yeah.
You can do literally anything you want
Yeah.
and then change. And I think that was a big thing for us, is just encouraging them to see the possibilities and that your tomorrow may not look like what you thought you wanted to do, and that's okay.
And it's okay. Can I add to that? I don't have adult children, but listening to you guys and being aunties, being an auntie forever, I think it's important for us to tell our adult children our mistakes
That's
and
true.
our imperfections, because the pressure of trying to be this premier Christian young woman or man or college student, they didn't know you got C's and D's.
Yeah.
They didn't know that you had to sit out a semester. They didn't know that you was drinking.
Right.
They didn't know that you were partying. They
Right.
didn't know some of the things.
Yeah.
So this is it is a false narrative.
Yeah.
That mom and dad was like this
Yeah.
Right.
when they were my age. No, they
Right.
weren't. Or
Right.
aunt and uncle
Yeah.
was like this
Right,
at my
right.
age. No, they weren't. It is, and that takes some of the pressure off. It doesn't
Yeah.
give you a license to go buck wild,
Yeah.
but it takes some of that weight off of their backs.
I remember, and it takes weight off of you.
Yeah.
I remember when Sister turned 18, I wanted to have a talk because I knew he was going to go away to college. And I wanted him to know that this is what happened. This is what it looked like. I want you to know every step of it. I'm not going to badmouth people. I'm not going, but this is the journey.
This your truth.
This is my truth. This is what happened. You got everything at 18. And maybe sometimes we need to move it closer so when they get into that point, they're not losing it. It's like, I'm trying to be what mom was or what dad was. That we don't wait until, I don't think I felt it,
Pull
but
the
that
veil
was
back a
right.
little
Pull it,
sooner.
yeah.
Be
Don't
careful,
wait till
you know.
you be
They don't
careful.
want to
You
blow
ain't
up
ready.
the
Yeah,
load.
no, you're right. You
He
absolutely
texts
right.
me, then I respond like it don't have to be blow up blow.
No, but
No.
even with the grades, knowing like,
Just
in
creating
this
a
season,
conversation.
you know what? This semester I did fail, but I got myself back
That's
on
right.
there, and I got my grades right. Or in this season, you know what? I did drink, and I was like, oh, okay, this how it made me feel.
Yeah.
You don't need to feel that way. But I'm telling you what it made me feel like, so you know that you don't have to go try it for yourself.
Right.
My mom always used to say that you don't have to be the one to know first. Like, why you gotta be the go try it? Let me try it for myself. Let people around you try it first. Let them show you the experience. Why you gotta have the whole
from their
experience? Right. Why you? Now there are gonna be times when they're gonna have their own experience, but everyone you don't need. You don't need every.
You ain't got to trailblaze everything. You just a trailblazer.
Right. So I mean that was something that I just wanted to make sure that he knew before, but I'm gonna say that I'm still learning how to parent adult children. Like,
Yeah.
I've said
We
something
took to the beginning.
Yeah.
Never ends.
Right. I said something the other day, and I just was like, okay, that was the wrong thing. But But this is where I had to come to my friends and say, "Is this wrong? Did I go too far? Could I have said it
Way too far.
Could I have said it differently, or?" But I felt like I wanted him to know that, listen, remember who you are.
Yeah.
And I think just reminding them that, yep, you can go do these things, but don't forget who you are.
I
and
think
what
it's
your
also important when you're doing that, like letting them, trying to remind them, also giving them insight into your thinking.
Yeah.
This is
That's
why
true.
I'm saying this.
True.
This is even my concern. This is my fear. I don't, think that this may be who you are, but this is my concern.
Okay.
This is where this choice could lead to.
Yeah.
So you're giving them your thoughts behind it, not just,
just saying it.
just saying it.
Like, let me throw this in there.
Right.
You talking, let me say that.
But I like what you said in terms of hearing them sometimes.
Yeah.
You tell me what you need. I keep telling you what I need to give you and what I need to show you and how I need to guide you. Where do you need me?
That's true.
So just hearing them sometimes.
I think we forget that. I forget
Because it helps me because this is my first go.
Yeah.
I've never done this
Yeah,
before.
me either.
I don't
Well,
know
I'm
how to
like,
parent an adult.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
learning
yeah.
with you. So we're going to help each other.
Yeah. So. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you got anything from it, please share it with someone you think it will bless. And make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to the Christyn Show right here on YouTube. You can download the audio-only version by subscribing to the show on most major podcast platforms. Also, make sure you check out our links in the comments below for more ways to engage with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Christyn Show.